Hello, and welcome to this is going to be a divine masculine check-in for the weekend, let's say starting today, June 12th, to, let's say, Monday morning, June 14th. I'm sitting here thinking about what I know of the astrology coming in, and we currently have many planets retrograde. We're also in the pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde in Cancer, and we're in between two lunar eclipses and coming up on the yearly solstice solar eclipse. On top of that, there are a ton of energies coming together this weekend, including new moon, the moon entering Aries, while Mars is in Aries. And along with my intuition, I've been checking various astrologers and tarot readers that I follow who are also sensing similar to what I am. And what appears to be in the airwaves is that this weekend is likely to be full of a fair amount of probably drama. If not drama, it'll still be enlightening moments, awakening moments. I get a sense that a fair amount of divine masculines who went through a dark night of soul period over the last couple of months are either awakening for the first time or reawakening and really coming into themselves and starting to make more positive decisions, starting to think about how they've been taking care of themselves. And for those of you that are in some kind of contact with your DMs and have noticed that they have fallen into, fatigue, or they've gained a lot of weight, or they're looking, rather bedraggled, they are likely to be waking up this weekend. This is part of why I chose the pictures for this video that I did. It's kind of feeling like a late springtime moment where even though we're just about to start summer, the seeds are sprouting, especially for those of you divine feminines who have been working on yourselves and who have been releasing expectations and showing your masculines, your loving side, encouraging them, offering them upliftment, but not waiting on them and not pandering to them. You've just been there, consistent, shining your light, showing them that you're doing your thing and not sitting there harping about things that happened or could happen or should happen, etc. And as well as those of you even who have doled out some act right to your divine masculines, because remember now, divine femmes, like, being a divine feminine does not mean always being perky and nice and things like that. It does mean at times calling out your masculine on his BS and also receiving that sometimes. And that is part of what he likes about you, that you are honest and authentic with him, and when you don't like something, you say it. Now, a fair amount of us have had to learn how to say it in more graceful ways, but you still say it. And you might, if you've been doing your work and working on yourself and releasing what you need to release, you are probably a little bit ahead of your masculine. You are blossoming, and flowers are starting to open. Your leaves are unfurling, or have been, and he's looking at you as, like, Nine of Pentacles, as this, beautiful femme in a garden with a hawk on your wrist, and you're just doing your thing and you're being beautiful. And for some of them, they've pushed that image out and they've not been thinking about you. Well, they have been, but they've been trying to wrap themselves up in other things, and so they've been pushing away the thoughts that come in. And at this point in time, at this juncture, there's kind of it feels like a smaller portal that is opening this weekend. And a lot of those that have been pushing you, a lot of masculines that might have been pushing you away or keeping extra distance, or, even being a little bit feisty about things, they're going to come back out. They're going to come back up. They're going to realize that, they have been doing everything they could do to try to forget about you, to try to think about other things, to try to plant other seeds. And many of those masculines this weekend even are going to recognize that they have been planting seeds where they're at, especially those that are in karmic third party situations. They're going to notice that they actually have been planting in the proper way, but they're planting either in barren ground, or they're planting with, a karmics or a karmic that goes around behind them and pulls up all the seeds that they just planted, like little squirrels or mice or moles, or they eat the roots from underneath, and it's definitely wearing on them. They're feeling exhausted. They're feeling drained. And for those of you that have even, pulled your energy back to keep yourselves in proper self-care, they're feeling that, because that means that they can't pull at your energy in order to sustain them in their karmic situations. And even for those of you that have kept some energy going to them, sending them positive prayers, maybe some tantric energy, things of that, spirit has been regulating it for you so that they do have to use their own energy. And when they start to get drained of it, they feel it. They're really, really feeling it. So for those of you that are noticing that your masculines, seem disheveled and exhausted and depressed, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, that this for you is a time of not rescuing. You don't need to rescue anybody. You don't even need to rescue yourself. Just focus on the future that you want, because when you are focusing on the future that you want, whether or not you have union with your masculine, you are steering the ship in that direction. And as you focus in that direction, he will see you. And if he's focusing on you in the ways that you've been focused on him, then he will follow your lead. You will lead, it's like my youngest says, if you're driving a truck with a trailer, and it starts to get a little squirrely behind you, the last thing you want to do is try to turn to correct it. What you want to do is just keep driving straight. And as you drive straight, the trailer will even itself out. Imagine that your divine masculine is that trailer, and you are the driver in front. If you are focused on what he is doing, guess what? You're going to just keep getting squirrely. And so as this weekend comes, what I want you to focus on is, where are you going? In fact, not just where are you going, but where do you want to go? Where do you want to go, femmes? What are you expecting to happen, or what do you want to happen when union comes, Are you thinking about where you're going to live? What kind of house do you want? Do you want to rent or buy? Do you want to be able to have friends over to entertain them? If you have children, what do you want for them to have as a legacy? And what are you doing for work? And how are you taking care of yourself? What do you want your body to look like, over this summer, or for the next year? And what would you like to learn about? What books would you like to read? What's on your bucket list of things that you've always wanted to do? Much of which you probably put on hold because you've been waiting for union. And as you've been so focused on union and what you have to do to get there, and what's going on with your masculine and his, you hear that dog, right? Like, what's going on with his karmic and stuff like that, Think about the picture that's on the screen. There's one dandelion there. It's one wish. You've been focused on that one wish, and really you've been holding it out of place. And right now there is so much good energy, and it's there for you to steer the ship in a new direction. And what I'm really getting the strongest sense in terms of energy check-in with a lot of the divine masculines is that they are looking to you. What are you doing? What is your example? How are you feeling? Would you be receptive to them opening up? Are you in a good mood? Are you in a bad mood? What are you doing? What are you doing now? What are you doing with the rest of your life? What are your plans? And how can they get out of their complicated karmic situations and become the kind of masculine that they would feel proud to be for you? Because a lot of divine masculines this weekend are going to be feeling like they want to come back to you. They know that they're in a situation that is not good for them, where grow they can't grow crops, they can't make money, they can't be happy. They're, whether their karmic is a person, multiple people, a work situation, whatever it is, they're noticing that they are not happy where they are, and spirit is blasting that light onto them, saying, because you're not with your divine feminine, and you're not in union with your 5D self either, masculines. You need to think about what you are doing. And if they look at us divine feminines and see that we are in good mood, even, whether we have a lot or we have nothing, and we are steering our ships in a forward momentum towards what we want, that'll be such an inspiring thing for them, especially if they're stuck with karmics who are caught in victim mentalities and always worried about the past, or caught up in what's going on politically, or just constantly worried about everything. I mean, can you imagine what it would be like to have spent most of, the last 6 months hunkered down with somebody like that, and then to awaken and see all the signs pointing in the direction of your divine feminine. And when you look at her, what do you see? You see that she's fine, she's thriving, she's going in the direction that she wants to go in, and she's got nobody telling her what to do, and she's got nobody, she's not under anybody's thumb, and she's still shining her light on you and being kind and lovely. I mean, how would you feel if that was opposite? If that was out of Dark Night of Soul and seeing your masculine being that way? Well, I have news for you. They are going to return that favor at some point. But first, they have to learn what it looks like. They have to learn what it looks like to be happy just being by yourself, to be able to focus on a future that seems bright with or without a partner in it. They have to be able to see somebody who derives pleasure from communicating with spirit and the earth around, and focusing on being a good parent and a good friend and a good neighbor, and being kind even to those who hurt you, and most importantly, to being authentic, to standing in your truth. The placements that we have right now, especially with retrogrades, and in right now with all these retrogrades, but Mercury is still direct. It's going retrograde, but it's still in direct right now. That means direct communication. That means standing in your truth. We have to exemplify this, and if our truth is that we are over-focused on them, that's all they're going to see. They're going to see this ulterior motive, that everything that we do for them is just to get them back, just to trap them in another relationship, which is exactly how a lot of them are feeling right now, trapped in a relationship where there are so many expectations of them to make their karmics happy. And no matter what they try to do, it doesn't work, because their karmics have not awoken on their own yet and realized that they are the only ones responsible for their own happiness. And they have been laying burden after burden after burden on their masculine. And as the energies have lined up more and more, they become more and more insecure about things, and more fighting has happened, and more drama is building up, and they've been playing tit-for-tat games and going through cycles of toxicity that in each moment are designed to wake each of them up and make them realize that this was supposed to be a learning lesson, not a forever thing. You can't build a forever thing on toxicity. And the divine masculines are ahead in this moment of their karmics, and they are really, really seeing this weekend that they're in a dead-end relationship right now, or that what they've been working on to the detriment of their feelings is not going to get them where they really want to go. And many of them are waking up to the very first time that what they thought they needed to focus on, what they thought would make them feel successful and loved and appreciated, like money, materialism, having a house, having a relationship that on the outside looks like it's all peaches and cream and the American dream and stuff like that. That's not what they want, you know. They want partnership, they want teamwork, they want somebody who actually cares about how they feel. They want the love that you told them about, Divine Femmes. And while a lot of them might not actually jump out and show you this weekend what exactly is going on, they're thinking about it. And there's likely to be some endings of karmic relationships for DMs this weekend, and for others, it's simply the awareness that the end is definitely coming. For others, it's a continuation in the direction of an ending. And for still others, it will be that first moment of recognition that it might not work with the karmic they're with. Either way, this weekend is likely to be a lot of drama, and I get a sense that there will likely also be either a surprise karmic that will show up and add to the, uh, let's say, the rumor mill, or there will be the continuation of a karmic that reappeared, not long ago, increasing the situation. What I'm kind of getting the picture of is that divine masculines are playing kind of a Jenga game, with the tower and the little bricks that you pull one piece out and you try to get towards the end so that someone knocks it over. And most of them are aware, so to speak, that they've been in this sort of situation, and they've been trying to be stealthy in pulling out just the right pieces so that their karmics, who many of them have them trapped in legal situations, in situations with children, in financial entanglements and things like that. So they've been trying to make it so that their karmics will take out that remaining piece and knock it over. For those that aren't aware that that's happening, or that they're even still just in the motions, they and their karmic are playing that game together and self-sabotaging. And either way, this weekend might not be the tower falling over exactly like, as in the end of the game, but there will be some big tower moments this weekend that will create awakening moments for both of them. Now, here's the thing. I don't get the sense that divine feminines, or most of us, are not going to get some, like, huge flag where divine masculine says, oh my gosh, I'm so done with this situation with my karmics, and I'm coming back to you. Or even be made aware necessarily of the drama directly. But I do get a very strong hit that Spirit is going to be showing you all sorts of signs and making sure that you're aware of what is going on, whether it's through tarot readings or friends and family or your kids or some other way. You're going to be aware of what is going on. And what I really am getting called to recommend is that you focus on looking and thinking about the love you have and want to share with your masculine. And it doesn't necessarily have to be big stuff. If they answer you back when you text them, that's love. If they ask you how your parents are, that's love. If they're rearranging their schedules to be able to take the kids on, that's love. If they're telling you that it's so nice to see you smile, that's love. Think about that kind of stuff, the little stuff that adds up to the big stuff. And set your sights on the future that you want. Don't worry so much right now about what's happening. Spirit has got your back, and it's got their back, and it's taking care of things. It's already said through multiple ways and multiple readers that now is the time. Spirit is intervening in their third party and karmic situations and saying, enough. It's telling them and showing them that they have learned what they can learn from this situation, and if they continue on in this path, Spirit will continue to constrain things. They will likely experience thievery and increased drama, increased unhappiness, decreased health, etc. So you let Spirit take care of things, and you steer the trailer. You steer it, Femmes. Look for what makes you happy, and go for that, and let them be inspired by following you.